Laba. Welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. We've got the latest news and reports. Some may notice air quality in the city has been affected quite badly lately, but current air quality of Yangon can't still hurt health. The battle against coronavirus, the international community provides help to China in fighting the COVID-19. A story coverage on the changes to be made to YPS devices after a test run. And the last report on the University of Mandalay team announced as winner for national round of Jessup International Moot Court competition. We'll get to the reports in a while, but before that, let's take a look at the local news. President Wu Min sent a message of greetings on the 72nd anniversary of Chin National Day celebrations. In his message, the president said Chin National Day is the date on which the decision was made to replace the old administrative system, a legacy of the feudal colonial era in which the administrative authority and rights were kept in the hands of sawbois, feudal lords and village headmen, with a democratic administrative system. It is a significant and historic day full of essence and deep meaning for all Chin national racial groups. It is a matter of great regret that Chin State has lagged behind in development because of the numerous mountains and rugged terrain and therefore full of limitations in the transport and communication sector. Be that as it may, our union government has carried out efforts to build new roads, repair old ones, and upgrade several others as a matter of priority in Chin State, which is very mountainous and transportation is difficult, because we do not wish to see least developed regions left behind in our nation-building efforts. In the same way, we are working to improve and upgrade the education, health, and electricity supply sectors to improve the socio-economic status of Chin ethnic nationals. Union Minister for Social Welfare Relief and Resettlement Dr. Win Myint A and Rakhine State Chief Minister U Nyi-Put visited the injured students and the internally displaced persons in Budidang Township, Rakhine State Wednesday morning. A schoolgirl was injured in an attack that hit her primary school in Gomhui village. She was at the Budidang People's Hospital for medical treatment. The Union Minister comforted the patient and her family members by presenting cash, jackets, and medicines. He also met with 15 wounded school children and their parents from the same village at the hospital hall and provided them with some relief assistance. During the meetings with the children, the Union Minister expressed his sorrow at the accident that happened on the 13th of February and said the government's assistance to the children as the Rakhine State has been put in the top priority of government for peace and development of the region. The Union Minister and party later visited the two temporary IDP camps in Budidang Township and took a schoolgirl for medical treatment in Yangon as she was injured in the heavy weapon attack. The Ministry of Health and Sports released the updated information about its surveillance measures against the coronavirus disease 2019 on Wednesday. The Ministry of Health and Sports is conducting the screening process to prevent respiratory disease COVID-19, which is now spreading in China and other countries, at the international gateways and at the hospitals through public-centered monitoring processes and in coordination with private hospitals. A 40-year-old Chinese man from Weihai City of Shandong Province from China arrived in Myanmar on the 17th of February, and he went to the Laintaya Township Hospital on Wednesday as he suffered from fever and diarrhea. He was then transferred to the Webagi Hospital where he was quarantined as a person under investigation at the hospital. His specimens will be examined at the National Health Laboratory in Yangon, although he was not diagnosed with acute respiratory disease until now. A 26-year-old woman returned from Singapore to Myanmar on 14th of February. The International Health Regulations Focal Point of Singapore informed the Central Epidemiology Unit of Myanmar that she was in close contact with a laboratory-confirmed patient in Singapore. She was quarantined as a person under investigation at the Mandalay General Hospital. Her specimens will be examined at the National Health Laboratory in Yangon, although she was not diagnosed with acute respiratory disease until now. Up to 8 p.m. on Wednesday, a total of 11 persons were being quarantined for medical treatments at the hospitals of respective states and regions, and they are in good health. The results of laboratory tests will be released in a timely manner. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Almost every day, the Department of Meteorology and Hydrology Kapa'a Station, the Yangon City Development Committee, and NGO organizations are measuring the air quality level in Yangon, the commercial hub of the country. Yangon is now facing daily heavy traffic with a gradual increase in its population. For more on the effects of bad air quality in the city, we'll turn to Mimintun and Year 9's report.
The Department of Meteorology and Hydrology, Kabae Station, the Yangon City Development Committee, YCDC, and NGO organizations are measuring the air quality level in Yangon, the commercial heart of the country, almost every day. Yangon is now facing daily heavy traffic with a gradual increase in its population. Wu Cho-Tung, head of Environmental Conservation and Sanitation Department, Yangon, said,
Air pollution should not be measured only at a single place. Everywhere in Yangon, it should be measured. In order to get an actual index, equipment has to measure at a place for 24 hours. The next thing is that the measurement must be carried out in times of the heaviest traffic and of the hottest weather. If so, the air quality index remains the highest. Measuring the air quality only at a single time may not give the right index. All the measurements of the 24 hours should be taken into consideration. Another point is daily air quality indexes. The right air quality index should be released following the detailed review.
According to the measurement of air quality of Yangon by the Department of Meteorology and Hydrology Kabae Station, it showed 80 AQI on 10 February, 95 on 11 February, 87 on 16 February, and 70 on 17 February, respectively. Regarding the effect of air quality index on the health, 0 to 50 AQI indicate a good level, and 51 to 100 AQI a median level as well. These levels can have effect on the health. The level of 101 to 150 AQI can have negative effect on those who are unfit, causing respiratory problems. It also can affect on those suffering heart attack and the children, according to the report of DMH. Wu Cho-Tung, head of Environmental Conservation and Sanitation Department, Yangon, said,
Although our department does not release official news about the air pollution of Yangon at present, on the behalf of the state, the DMH has released the report already. For this, I don't need to say particularly. Our YCDC will have to announce what the people will have to follow the instructions on preventive measures when Yangon region government instructs us.
The reason of being 50 to 100 AQI in Yangon is due to burning of stubble, rubbish, and dry leaves, emission of fumes from the industries, factories, smoke and dust coming from the vehicles, and the particles thrown from the construction sites. The department concerns are working together in the reduction of air pollution, according to the press conference held by the Yangon City Development Committee YCDC on 17 February. Lai Mo, Secretary of Yangon City Development Committee YCDC, said,
Air quality must be measured for 48 hours, although it is at 24 hours measurement. It is learned that the air quality measurement by the NGOs is not long like that. The DMH has places to measure air quality in Yangon where there are measurement systems. We have a plan to measure air quality at 47 places in Yangon in partnership with the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Conservation.
The air pollution in Yangon has been measured at 67 points since 2016. The key 3 points are the place in front of the Yangon City Hall, the place of Leighton Roundabout, and the place of Mingaladong. The remaining 64 points were measured by mobile system.
That's a report on the current air quality of Yangon. All right, we'll carry on with the next report on the battle against the coronavirus that's been hitting hard some cities here on Myanmar Today. The international community helps China in combating the new coronavirus known as COVID-19. As the death toll spirals, the World Health Organization has arrived in China to study the virus and seek solution. While accepting international help, the Chinese government has enacted policies and enforced measures to contain the deadly virus outbreak across the country. Akacho has the details.
While China is fighting against the deadly epidemic of coronavirus outbreak, international community shows their support. The support comes in the form of the medical supplies and the items used in combating the virus. China has accepted help from the US and other countries to put the virus under control as the death toll has been spiraling. China has agreed to let the World Health Organization form an international team of experts that travel to the mainland to study the virus and seek solutions. Recently, the WHO team arrived to China and instigated their effort to seek the solution. For more on the help from international community, MI Radio reached out to Mr. Xu Jingdou, senior journalist of the China Media Group.
As for the assistance from the international community, mostly the medical supplies and equipment, for example, surgical masks, gloves, disinfectants, protective suits, etc. All the stuff you need to fight this virus. And of course, there are also pledges, financial pledges to help the research to know more about the virus and to develop vaccines as soon as possible. And also you have the support, I would say moral support, and to help the Chinese side to boost the confidence to fight the virus. For example, some national leaders have expressed their support that, we are with the Chinese people. If you need, I can visit China right now, etc. So these are important to finally, I would say, win this battle against the virus.
China's latest official figures released on Tuesday put the overall death toll at 1,868 and 72,436 infections. Pointing out the risk for medical staff, the paper says that a total of 3,019 health workers have been infected, 1,716 of which were confirmed cases and 5 had died by 11 February, which was the last day of data included in the research. Mr. Xu Jingdou continued to explain more on the shortage of the items China needs help with.
Yes, there are a lot of support to the Chinese side. These are all playing a very important role, as we know that even today there is a shortage of medical supplies, protective gears for medical staff. Well, they are at the front line to contain the spread of the virus. Even for, folks, ordinary folks, for example, living in China, there is a shortage of masks because there's 1.4 billion people. Remember, if everybody consumes masks, like even one a day, there's a huge shortage in terms of the number. So the Chinese factories are producing, running full steam to produce as many as possible, but still, this is an urgent situation. So yes, medical supplies are in need.
China's response to the virus has seen the lockdown of Wuhan, the largest city in Hubei, the rest of the province, as well as severe travel restrictions on movements across the country. Authorities in China are tightening curbs on movement to combat the outbreak. People in the province of 60 million people have been ordered to stay indoors, though they will be allowed to leave in an emergency. Measures include enforcing the travel restriction on essential road and the public places. China Radio International reporter Ms. Huang Yue explained more on the measures Chinese banks take to disinfect the banknotes.
The central bank has taken measures to strengthen the cash supply and liquidity management, with 4 billion yuan of new banknotes being allocated to the city of Wuhan, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. And the central bank has enhanced the disinfection of banknotes in circulation to ensure the public uses sanitary money. Cash withdrawn from the regions severely hit by the outbreak should be disinfected by the ultraviolet rays or high temperatures and be stored for more than 14 days before being pumped into the market again. The central bank has issued a circular asking its branches and commercial banks to take differentiated measures according to the local conditions to ensure the safety of banknotes.
It is also reported that according to Chinese officials, it is reported that more than 12,000 people have recovered so far. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on the international community providing help to China in fighting the COVID-19. Let's now have a look at the currency rates from Myanmar's central bank and the stock exchange. $1 is at 1,450 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 207 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,567 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,885 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,043 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 348 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 46 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 20 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,609. Silver is at $18, and Brent crude oil is at $53. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI is at 12,000. MTSH is at 3,950. MCB is at 8,200. FPB is at 23,000. TMH is at 2,900. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. Yangon Region Transport Authority's regular press meeting took place Wednesday. The YRTA presented updates on the new YBS buses running to the universities, the Yangon Payment Service System, and the minibuses. Among the various topics, Agajo has more on the YPS system update.
Currently, the YPS devices are using the speech sound to signal the transaction activity, and soon it will be changed into beep sound to make it faster. This was noted at the Yangon Region Transport Authority's regular press meeting on Wednesday. The 11-day test was run on 1,458 YBS buses as the first phase. 95 people were assigned to do various tests on the devices and cars to find out the technical error. Recently, the report from the test run project show it takes long when the device responds to the transaction activity, and so they will replace it with the beep sound to make activity faster.
We ran the YPS devices test on 1,458 buses. We assigned 95 people to test the devices and girls. The project ran from January 31st to February 9th, bringing the total number of 11 days. The feedbacks were recorded in reports. The feedbacks were recorded and reports were discussed to tackle the technical setbacks. One of the issues that we need to handle is that we heard that the device reads success and thank you as an automated voice response to the guard use. It takes about 1 second to 1.5 seconds to finish the process, and so it's a bit slow, especially during the rush hours when loads of passengers take the bus. So if we use beep song, it will be faster for the activity and there is no blockage of passengers at the exit and entrance.
The Yangon Bus Service YBS aims to implement the car payment system in order to solve the problem of shortage of notes and to discontinue using the cash box system. The Asia Stammer, the tender-winning payment service provider, has been closely working with the authority to implement the YPS system. In the first phase, 1,458 buses were set for the test project, among which 113 were not tested as they were under maintenance. Therefore, the remaining 113 buses and another host of 432 buses, the test will be conducted as a second phase. So far, the YPS devices were installed in 1,890 buses for the first pilot project. Payment card devices were installed on 500 buses from the Yangon Urban Public Transport Company, on 500 buses of the Yangon Bus Public Company, on 300 buses from Mahabandula Company, and on over 80 buses from Chui Daongbang Company.
After discussion with the bus company on Moot, we found something that we need to urgently tackle. We did test run on 1,455 buses, among which 1,345 buses had the test run as 113 were under service. The tests include testing the distance between the device and cocks, testing the device capacity during peak hours where many people use the devices at the same time. And we really encourage people to queue once they get on and alight the buses so that they can tap the cards to the device systematically.
The YPS devices are worth of $390 each, and that includes insurance. The authority also tested the duration that the money was transferred to the device and then to the banks. The technology company and the buses company give their feedbacks and report. Yangon bus system is the main transportation mode of the commercial city Yangon. Of about 7 million people living in Yangon, about 2 million commuters use public transport on a daily basis. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on the changes to be made to YPS devices after a test run. And here's the last report on the University of Mandalay team announced as winner for national round of JSUP International Moot Court competition. 7 teams of law students from universities across Myanmar participated in the national round of JSUP International Moot Court competition at the American Center in Yangon on Tuesday. The winning team will have an opportunity to compete in the international competition, which will be held in Washington, D.C. in April. For the last round of national competition, the 2 teams from the University of Mandalay and the University of Yangon competed against each other. So let's check who the winner is.
Law students from the universities across Myanmar participated in the national round of JSUP International Competition, which is the world's largest moot court. The winning team was announced on 18 February at the national round competition held at American Center in Yangon. The Philip C. JSUP International Moot Court Competition is an advocacy competition where the contestants act as the actual agents at International Court of Justice (ICJ). The teams have to take a role as applicant and respondent to argue the case of ICJ as in reality by writing memorials and conducting oral representation. The national round of JSUP International Moot Court Competition was organized for the second time in 2020 by Asian Law Students Association with the support of U.S. Embassy in Yangon.
So the U.S. Embassy is supporting this competition in 2 ways. First, we're supporting the national round, which is what is taking place today, and our public affairs section is supporting it through its support to the Asian Law Students Association, and that's the organizing the national rounds, holding it here in the American Center, as well as all the hard training that went into the preparations for today. And then the second way in which the U.S. Embassy is supporting this program is through supporting the travel of the winning team to Washington, D.C. to compete in the international rounds, which will take place in about 6 weeks' time.
The purpose of bringing this competition is to the students to get familiar with the International Court of Justice procedures and also with the public international law, and also to improve their legal skills, legal writings, and oral pleading skills.
At this year's competition, 7 teams competed for the national round.
Last year, we have only 4 teams, which are University of Yangon, University of Mandalay, Yangon University, and East Yangon University. This year, we have 3 more teams, including them, which are Padang University, Macquarie University, and Yangon University. We recruited the potential participants who would like to compete, and then we made them in groups and register to International Law Students Association and participate participate in this event.
For the final round of the national competition, the students from University of Yangon and University of Mandalay competed against each other, and the winner award went to the team from University of Mandalay, which acted as the respondent.
Actually, we have tried very hard. We don't sleep for like days and nights, especially at night. Before was a much harsher night because we don't have even like 4 hours of sleep only. We have only 4 hours of sleep. We have been preparing gradually like for like about 6 months since we tried to read the case. It was like a whole adventure because this is the first time we have experienced something very extreme, and like we have to show that we are better. So this is like a lifelong test, and I don't think I will be able to forget this moment and also all this past 6 months that we have tried. But I also like to say that we would make ourselves much more prepared before we go to Washington DC to represent Myanmar, to be a good representative of Myanmar.
The key here is preparation. So you have to prepare early. You have to orient yourself in topics under international law, and they could easily prepare for this because there are volumes of resources that are available to them. It's a great feat just by going here, participating, and have all the confidence to articulate all these legal arguments. That being said, this would help them form their legal arguments, have mastery of the facts, and try to prove their case by using all those before a panel of judges. That could be nerve-wracking, but I believe the students of Myanmar are well represented. They're very bright, and they have lots of potential to present and showcase their talents, not just here but abroad as well in Washington DC.
The international round of Moot court competition will take place in Washington DC from 12 to 18 April 2020.
Well, I think this is really a great opportunity for law students to really develop the analytical skills as well as the oral advocacy skills that will really, I think, help Myanmar in the future. The people who are participating in this program in all 7 teams, I really will expect in 10, 20 years will be leaders in Myanmar, and the fact that they have this opportunity to work and develop these skills, I think will give them great support when that time comes as well.
This is Dora Suizin reporting from MI Radio.
That's all we have for today's reports. Now let's keep up with the world with international news here on Myanmar Today. The novel coronavirus, now known as COVID-19, has hit hard the city of Wuhan in central China's Hubei province, and so well wishes and prayers are being sent to the people of China from Myanmar and the Skynet family.
Wuhan 加油! We stand with Wuhan people. Wuhan 加油! Wuhan fighting! We stand with Wuhan people. Wuhan 加油! Wuhan fighting! Wuhan မြို့သူမြို့သားတွေ fighting Wuhan ဆိုတဲ့ခေါ်အားလေးရတယ်။အဲ့ဒီကြားရဲ့အားပေးစကားကိုပြောပြတယ်။ We stand with Wuhan people. Wuhan 加油! Wuhan fighting! We stand with Wuhan people. Wuhan 加油! Wuhan fighting! Wuhan
At least 8 people were killed on Wednesday in 2 shootings in Hanau, Germany. According to media reports, police arrested at least 1 person in connection with shooting attacks in Hanau. The local police confirmed special forces were also chasing a gunman who fled in a car. Media reported there were 2 shootings. The first was at a bar in the city center, with the second in Hanau's Kesselstadt neighborhood. Heavily armed police have sealed off 2 streets in the city of Hanau. Police officers and helicopters are patrolling in both areas. The motive for the shootings is still unclear. Recently, a medical worker released a video to show how many pieces of protective gear medical personnel have to wear and how to put them on. Numerous Chinese netizens reacted to the video, acknowledging that it is hard to be a medical worker on the front lines of the fight against the novel coronavirus and saluting them for their efforts. Bands and singers from several countries, including the US, UK, Italy, and France, extended their warm support to China, particularly the epicenter of Wuhan.
We wish you all the best of luck during these difficult times and hope to see you all soon.
Yeah, we are thinking of you.
Stay strong.
Take good care.
My thoughts are with everyone affected. Stay strong and take care.
We are together, we are united. Wuhan 加油，中国加油.
We're so sorry to hear about everything that's happening in Wuhan. Sending lots of good vibes your way and to all the medical teams working so hard to fight the virus. Stay strong and remember, love always wins.
Most importantly, I wanted to send you all my support and all my love given the circumstances.
Keep away from the viruses, not from love. Our common enemy is the virus, not Wuhan, not China. So let's work together to fight the virus.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.